What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound, where we're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Saturday, November 4th, 2023. Before we get into it, though, if you like this content, make sure you drop a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $19 best bet and my NHL breakaway, make sure you head to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. I also have something very new and exciting coming up here at Pickdawgz on the horizon. If you're a big bettor looking to hit the books hard on the ice, you're going to want to check out my all-access power play pass. Now, to be honest, this service not for everybody. This is for the bettors that are dropping $1,000 or more per game on the NHL, and for the people that want that elevated top-tier advantage to get a man up on your book. This package will feature for the first time the rating of my plays, as well as late info plays that I bet throughout the day based on goalie news or goalie changes, injuries, etc. If it's not your cup of tea, though, that is totally 100% fine. We're still going to be cooking up premium winners daily. We're still going to be covering every game every day right here on the Wraparound. But if you want more information, text 775-636-7674 and we'll get you hooked up. Anyways, NHL action on Saturday. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Saturday takes us to Rogers Place, where the Edmonton Oilers host the Nashville Predators. And, the Edmonton Oilers, were able to pick up a much-needed win over the Calgary Flames in the Heritage Classic, but then went back out and lost to the Dallas Stars 4-3, getting back to sort of normal hijinks from what we're used to seeing from the Edmonton Oilers. But that being said, the Oilers have owned the recent meetings with the Nashville Predators, head-to-head with Nashville. They've won 9 of the last 10 meetings and won each of the last 5 meetings in Edmonton. And it's not like the Predators are playing all that great themselves. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and scoring continues to be an issue for the Preds over that recent run. I don't love this Oilers goaltending tandem. I've said it before, but which team, last time I checked, the name of the game is to score more goals than the other team. And which team do I trust to score more right now? The Edmonton Oilers, and I'm going to take them to win this one in regulation, just given the head-to-head history between these two teams. But, not my favorite game to kick off the card on Saturday. Next, we head to the Mullet Arena, where the Arizona Coyotes host the Winnipeg Jets. And the Arizona Coyotes, it's been like this since last year. You put them in Mullet Arena. It's where they play their better hockey, and they've won their last 2 games for one of them in convincing fashion. They won, the 3-2 game against the Edmonton Oilers. The Montreal Canadiens. I'm stuck on the Oilers from last game. The Arizona Coyotes beat the Chicago Blackhawks 8-1. Both those games at home. Sandwiched in the middle was that 4-3 overtime loss against a suddenly red-hot Anaheim Ducks team. But you look at the Winnipeg Jets. They are skating on thin ice right now. They've lost 3 straight. And, head-to-head between these two teams, sure, Winnipeg has had the recent run of success. They've won 6 straight meetings with the Coyotes. But right now is the best I've seen the Coyotes look in some time. The goaltending is playing well. And between these two teams, while I do think that Connor Hellebuck is the better goaltender of the group long-term, the Coyotes have some solid goaltending right now between Carl Vejmelka and Connor Ingram. So I'm going to go with the Coyotes at plus money, but I also think, the under's in play here. The under been a common trend between these two teams. It's hit in each of the last 4 meetings and 6 of the last 7. I think it's 4-2 at most, whichever way this goes. So give me the under 6.5 with the Coyotes at plus money. Next, we head to the Enterprise Center, where the St. Louis Blues take on the Montreal Canadiens. And the Blues, for a team that was so streaky last year and was never on that win-1, lose-1 train, they've been the opposite this year. It's been win one, lose one for the most part for the Blues this season. They did snap out of their back-to-back losses with a 4-1 win over the New Jersey Devils last time out. But the problem for the St. Louis Blues is that this is a bad spot for them. This is a St. Louis team that, sure, may have the edge in goaltending, in my opinion, with Jordan Binnington. But, we're looking probably at the backup here. And that's probably going to be Joel Hofer, if I had to guess, because we saw Binnington against the Devils. And Hofer, he had a good start. He had a bad start. But the Blues are 0-6 in their last 6 games played on no rest. And head-to-head, Montreal has won the last 3 meetings between these two teams, all in the underdog role. And the underdog in this matchup, 5-1 in the last 6 meetings as well. So I'm going to take the Montreal Canadiens at plus money in this one. Next, we had the Little Caesars Arena, where the Detroit Red Wings host the Boston Bruins. And, the Detroit Red Wings, just when you think this Detroit team is showing some signs of life, they go ahead and go from winning 5 in a row to losing 4 of 5, and that includes a 4-1 loss to the same Boston Bruins back on October 28th. Now maybe we're encountering the sell high spot on Boston. Maybe this would have been a nice buy low spot on Detroit, considering that Detroit's won 6 of the last 7 meetings against Boston in Detroit. But I'm back in one of those sort of grooves or moods where until the Boston Bruins give me a reason to go against them, I'm not going to. Sure, they've gone to overtime and a shootout in 3 of their last 4 and have won both of those games in the last 2 against the Panthers and the Maple Leafs. But right now, the Boston Bruins, they're 4-0 on the road this season. They've done extremely well. And, look at some of the teams they played. They've held all their opposition in those games to 2 goals or less. Detroit's going to be a solid team, and they're going to be a team that provides value. I'm still high on the long-term prognosis for this Red Wings team. But right now, in this spot, got to go with the Bruins in this one. Now we head to the Canadian Tire Center, where the Ottawa Senators host the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, this Tampa Bay Lightning team, I've had my concerns with them. They've been proving me wrong in a couple spots here and there, but now they've lost back-to-back games. They're 0-4 on the road this season, 0-3-1. And that includes a loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets last time out. And right now, the Lightning just don't look right. They still look like a team that is missing Andrei Vasilevsky. The goaltending had its bright spot. Jonas Johansson had a pair of shutouts last week, but then he went and gave up 4 to the Kraken. Matt Tompkins just, again, the combination of Jonas Johansson and Matt Tompkins is not going to be the answer. It has to be right now because Andrei Vasilevsky's still out for the Lightning. But I don't see them having much success in this game either. The Ottawa Senators have won the last 3 meetings with Tampa Bay, all in convincing fashion. They win their games at home, and the home team has won the last 7 meetings between the Sens and the Lightning. I got to go with the Ottawa Senators here. Sure, the Sens haven't necessarily been at their best in some of their recent games. They've lost 4 of 5, but right now this is more of a fade against the Lightning in the spot more than anything else. So give me the Sens in this one. Next, we head to Scotiabank Arena, where the Toronto Maple Leafs host the Buffalo Sabres. And, the Buffalo Sabres have had their ups and downs, throughout the season. A lot of teams are going to. But they've played fairly well on the road. They're 4-0 on the puck line on the road this season. And, that includes a win over the Philadelphia Flyers, a 1-goal loss to the New Jersey Devils, a win over the Sens, who play their best hockey at home, and a 1-goal loss to the Islanders. And I think they could keep that going here. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they're my team, but they've lost 3 in a row. Right now, they're just as streaky as the St. Louis Blues were last year. The Leafs, winners of 3 in a row, then they lose 3 in a row. Prior to that, they won back-to-back games, and they lost back-to-back games. And right now, I don't know where Toronto's heads are at, with this goaltending, conundrum of Joseph Woll or Ilya Samsonov. And until they get there, I don't feel like laying these kinds of prices with them. Sure, the Leafs are the better team top to bottom, but the Sabres just have a tendency to give certain teams headaches. I think they're going to give the Leafs a headache here. I'm going to take the Sabres here plus the 1.5. I think it's a 1-goal game. Next, we have the Capital One Arena, where the Washington Capitals take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Columbus Blue Jackets pulling off the win at home over the Tampa Bay Lightning, snapping their 4-game losing streak. But you got to remember, that is a Tampa Bay team that has really, really struggled on the road this season, as have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Going back to last year, they've had some issues. They are 1-1-1 on the road this year. The last time we saw them on the road, they gave up 5 goals to the Dallas Stars. Gave up 4 goals in an overtime loss to the Montreal Canadiens. Washington really let me down. The only thing stopping me from a 9-0 day on, I think it was on Thursday. But the thing is that, that game was just a struggle spot against the New York Islanders. Prior to that, they were playing some solid hockey at home. They beat up on the Sharks. They beat the Wild. If the Capitals can't win this game, well, I think they're going to have some issues. I'm going to be back off them. The Blue Jackets 12-44 in the last 56 on the road. Not a game I'm rushing to bet on Saturday's card, but I'll lean towards the Capitals here, minus 146. Next, we head to the UBS Arena, where the New York Islanders host the Carolina Hurricanes. And, the Carolina Hurricanes, Definitely a team that was struggling defensively to start the year. There's no sort of secret about that. The team is still 26th in goals allowed per game, giving up 3.5 goals per game. But the good thing for the Carolina Hurricanes that even in a losing effort, last time out against the Rangers, they've still tightened up that defense as of late. They've given up 3 goals or less in each of their last 5 games, 2 goals or less in each of their last 4. And like I said, they're starting to get things back on track after a rough defensive start to the year. Now, the Islanders, well, they pulled off shutouts in 2 of their last 3 games, and this is going to be, I think, a defensive battle. But that being said, it's been a defensive battle that the Carolina Hurricanes have owned in past seasons. 17-4 the Canes are in the last 21 meetings, and 25-8 in the last 33 in New York. The thing is that 2 teams that can really put the clamps on, and the Islanders, I've said before, they like to play this defensive style, but sometimes they rely on that style a little bit too much. And which team do I trust to score more goals in this game? It's the Carolina Hurricanes. So give me the Carolina Hurricanes on the money line at -132. Next, we head to the Wells Fargo Center, where the Philadelphia Flyers host the Los Angeles Kings. And, the Kings, I said before earlier this season, and I'm probably going to keep saying it, that I didn't think that Cam Talbot was the answer for success in Los Angeles. I thought he was more of a hindrance than a help than anything else. But he's helped the Los Angeles Kings start out the season pretty well. 6-2-2 to start the year. But more impressively for the Los Angeles Kings, 5-0 on the road to start the year. The road team has won 9 of the 10 games that the Kings have played this season. The Philadelphia Flyers, well, they got the win last time out against the Buffalo Sabres, but the road teams now won each of Philly's last 4. And Philly, that goaltending that was helping to get the Flyers through the first few games, well, it's gone for the most part now. And right now, I just trust the team that's shown me that they can win on the road. Got to take the Kings here, but to get that -176 price down, not where I want to be. I can take the Kings to win this one in regulation, get that down to a coin flip price and sacrifice overtime. I don't think we need it. Next, we head to the United Center, where the Chicago Blackhawks take on the Florida Panthers. The Chicago Blackhawks started the year well with that upset win over Pittsburgh, and you thought maybe there was some optimism. They battled the Boston Bruins hard and kept things close. They beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the reality is they've lost 6 of their last 8 games, and it has not been good for the Blackhawks, especially lately. They lost 8-1 on the road at the hands of the Arizona Coyotes in their last matchup. Now they go back home, but that's not saying a whole lot. I mean, at home this season, Chicago 0-2. Like I said, they've only had 2 home games. Those games did come against Boston and Vegas, but now they're up against the team that won the Eastern Conference last year in the Florida Panthers that have started to find themselves again. Winners of 5 of their last 7. And playing solid defense at that as well, because the goaltending hasn't necessarily been the most consistent. They've scored 3 goals or less in each of their last 6 games, the Panthers have. But I think that just goes to speak to the defense and the goaltending and how well it's performing. You have one team that's playing good defense right now and one team that's not. I'm going to take the Panthers here, but to get that -195 price down, I can take the Panthers to win this one in regulation at -125. Next, we head to the XL Energy Center, where the Minnesota Wild take on the New York Rangers. And the Minnesota Wild, not playing like the consistent Minnesota Wild team that we've come to know and love in the past few years. They've lost 4 straight, 6 of 7 and 7 of 9. And, a lot of it just has to do with the goaltending. The Minnesota Wild, they're not stopping pucks. Second worst in the NHL, allowing 4.2 goals per game. And while the Rangers' offense is not the most electric in the NHL, scoring just 3 goals per game, they've been good enough. And Jonathan Quick looks like he's confirmed to get the start in this game. And, while some people may see Quick as a downgrade, sure, he's not Igor Shesterkin, but he's a decent backup. He got the shutout against the Edmonton Oilers last time we saw him. The time before that, he got a road win over the Seattle Kraken, gave up just 1 goal on 19 shots. And when he had to step in for Shesterkin on October 19th against the Predators, didn't give anything up on 9 shots. So I think, Quick can hold his own here. Like I said, the Wild just haven't been stopping anything. They're 0-7 in their last 7 games against the Metro. The Rangers 6-0 in their last 6 overall. They're doing a great job winning games on the road. They're 5-0 in their last 5 on the road. To me, this one's just a gift of a price. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Give me the Rangers at plus money in this one. Next, we see the Seattle Kraken host the Calgary Flames at Climate Pledge Arena. And one of the running jokes that we have here at Pick Dawgz is my hatred for the Calgary Flames. Some people have told me in the comments of the wraparound in past videos when I was doing it with Rod to let it go. Stop betting with your heart, bet with your head. And I'll let you guys know a quick story where that came from. I had a 12-game parlay last year, and I'm not exaggerating. I can find the ticket and show you guys. 12-game parlay. It was down to this exact game, Kraken against the Flames. The Flames had a 4-2 lead. It was November 1st. It was 4-2 Flames late in the third. They gave up 3 goals in 6 minutes against a Kraken team that was playing terribly at the time. And I still have not forgiven the Flames to this day, and I will not do it here either. The Calgary Flames have lost 6 in a row, 8 of 9. Goal scoring is an issue. The goaltending hasn't been very good. At least for the Seattle Kraken, they've woken up a little bit, and they've been able to find the back of the net with a lot more consistency than the Calgary Flames have. We're getting a decent price with the Kraken. Like I said, I'm going to just continue going against the Calgary Flames just because it's fun. Give me the Seattle Kraken at the reasonable price here. Next, we head to the SAP Center where the San Jose Sharks take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, oh boy, the San Jose Sharks couldn't have gotten any worse. I mean, they lose 10-1 to the Vancouver Canucks in their last game. To put that into perspective, the San Jose Sharks have scored 10 goals in 10 games this entire season. So take that for what it's worth. Now, that being said, I think we've actually hit the bottom of the market on San Jose. I'm not going to be like one of our favorites from the morning show that, was trying to catch a falling knife every single day and trying to, pick the one spot where you could say, I told you so. But I don't see many other chances where the San Jose Sharks are going to have, spots like this to pick up a win. It's a revenge game for the Sharks. Erik Karlsson now on the Penguins. They're going to hit their former teammate a little bit harder than they normally would. And right now, frankly, the Pittsburgh Penguins are not good enough to be laying minus 255 against the Sharks. I get it. The Sharks have been a dumpster fire, but at a certain point, enough has to be enough. If they don't win here, they might go their first 20 games without a win. I'm going to take the Sharks here plus the goal and a half. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line plus 205, but there are much better games on the board. Next, we head to Rogers Arena where the Vancouver Canucks take on the Dallas Stars in a game where these are two teams that frankly, are playing some solid hockey out of the gate. The Stars 7-1-1. The Canucks 7-2-1 to start the year, so this should be a heavyweight tilt. That being said, the Dallas Stars in the past were a team that I had known for playing solid defense and stifling teams, and they've been able to do that at times as well. But look at their last 6 games. This this Stars team has scored 4 or more goals in 5 of those 6 games. Have been finding the back of the net with a ton of consistency. I mean, they scored 4 goals in each leg of the back-to-back in their trip to Alberta to take on the Oilers and the Flames. So scoring well right now. The Vancouver Canucks, I mean, they're just coming off a game where they potted 10 against the San Jose Sharks. Don't think they're going to get 10 here against the Dallas Stars, but I do think they can at least do enough to contribute to a total around 6.5. You look, Vancouver scored 10, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. So they're scoring goals consistently regardless of who's on the other side. I'm going to take the over 6.5 here. I think this is a 4-3, maybe even a 5-4 game. And our final game on Saturday takes us to the T-Mobile Arena where the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Colorado Avalanche and arguably the game of the day. And Vegas continuing to roll an 11-game point streak to start the year, 10-0-1. Meanwhile, the Colorado Avalanche, bouncing back from their pair of shutout losses on the road and getting a 4-1 win over the St. Louis Blues at home. But now they head back out on the road to take on a Golden Knights team that really hasn't given up anything easy to their opponents this season. Don't think they're going to give anything up easy to one of the league's best. But on the other side, the Colorado Avalanche have been stingy themselves defensively. I mean, these are two teams that are in the top 5 in terms of goals allowed per game this season. I just think this is going to be another war. You look at a lot of the recent meetings between these two teams going back to last year, the under 6-0 in the last 6. These games are usually the first to 3 wins. Why deviate from that here? This is going to have a playoff type atmosphere, only 10 games into the season. So give me the under 6.5 to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Saturday. November 4th, 2023. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and smash that like button. Also, make sure you have notifications turned on to get the newest and most up-to-date content here at Pick Dawgz. And if you're looking for my best bets, a reminder to check out Pick Dawgz Premium. And also, if you're looking for more information on my all-access Power Play Pass, and to find out if it's right for you, make sure to text 775-636-7674. Also, make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.